You'll know we're close to a friend. After this, I'll be on the mend. You laugh and point while I lay there on the floor. My pain is your rejoice. Blood or bruised, it's a Sophie's choice. If there's chance for pain, you'll sit back and watch it rain. And if I threw a party with dancing candles and a cake, I would find that your gift would be unkind, and the card attached would say, you'll know we're close to a friend. You really hate me. You'll know we're close to a friend. You just don't like me. You'll know we're close to a friend. You despise me. The box score starts right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins, the box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, still at the BS News desk until the end of next week, when I will join the Danettes for the first time in Phoenix for the Super Bowl. The Danettes are currently perched up in the New York City man cave. All right, guys, let's get to the elephant in the room. David Letterman threw a DVD of your acting debut in the trash. I mean, you have arrived. I mean, not only did he throw that thing in the trash, he also called Dan a stooge yet again. Seton, Dan doesn't really seem to be on Team Letterman. Why does he keep on going back?
I don't know. I really don't know why Dan does that. I mean, it's a great opportunity, and like, you kind of have to say yes when somebody like David Letterman says, hey, we want you on the show. I just don't know why Dan continues to torture himself over it. You know, he goes on there, he usually crushes. It's usually a great, awkward segment, which is a good thing. And then he just beats himself up over it for months on end afterwards. I don't know why.
When we got the call the other day about Letterman, I was talking with one of their producers for a while now about getting Dan back on the show, and he goes, hey, let's do it. And so when I was about to text Dan, I'm like, okay, I don't want Dan to say no. I really thought he was going to say no. And even after I pitched it to him, he kind of said no to me. And I was like, so I kind of had to sell it a little more towards him. But in all seriousness, I think he came about this close to passing on it.
McLovin, you were there. Be honest. At any point were you daydreaming that Dan would ask you to come join him up on stage?
At every point. In fact, I brought that up to a producer. Oh, I forgot to say this during the show. The main producer, I'm like, well, you know, you could pull out a couch, because he didn't know where to put me, if I should be in the green room or something. Like,
I can represent the Danettes.
Yeah, put a couch out, and me and I thought some of the other guys might show up. We'll just sit next to Dan, and he goes, let me think about it. No. So the Letterman team considered having the Danettes on.
Could you imagine if you ended up sitting next to Dan because you were the only one that showed up?
That'd be so awesome.
Oh, what
I did have a fantasy.
All-time moment.
I did have a fantasy. What if David Letterman, who watches the show, said, you know, I love those Danettes. Are any of them in the house? Stand up.
Come on down, then he waves you down.
How mad would you guys have been?
I got to tell you, I just thought about it. And said, I don't think I could handle that. It would be the biggest regret of my entire life, and I'm getting completely serious.
Yeah.
If somehow, and I'd be happy for you, but mad at myself for the rest of my life. I honestly don't think I could handle it. It would bother me till the day I died. If you got to walk on set with Letterman, meet him, that's separate, but to be on Letterman's show, to be on Letterman, that's something you don't.
Even if you don't say one word.
Even working with Dan,
How about being highlighted in the crowd?
That would be almost enough.
Same.
To be referenced by David Letterman on national TV.
Stand up and wave for a second.
Even though we work with Dan Patrick and we've been at Letterman's set before, been a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
That thought of us being on his show in any fashion has never crossed my mind, because I know it's not going to happen.
Well, I'll tell you though, the producer came up and he's like, hi, I'm Andrew. He's like, shut up, McLovin. I watch every day. I know exactly who you are. So they're aware of us in that building.
Yeah,
everybody knew.
Brian, the segment producer, watches the show daily.
Cool.
And avoiding his work at the Letterman offices and watching our show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're last week worthy, so I don't think the Danettes are getting on.
Well, Paulie, you've hung out with some pretty big names. Whose ribbing has been the biggest compliment to you?
No doubt Jerry Seinfeld. When we did the Seinfeld bit last year at the Super Bowl, and Dan was going through everyone, he complimented Fritzy. He said it was pretty good. He gave us some pretty decent compliments for Jerry. And then Dan goes, Paulie was, how did he do? He goes, oh, that's supposed to be me? And just that, the whole room just broke out. And it's such a nice, sneaky little line by Jerry Seinfeld. And if you look at my face when he said it, I've got a grin this big to be made fun of by one of the top comedians of all time. I take that as a complete, not pat on the back, but special moment.
I think might be able to top that.
Yeah.
How about when Phil Simms quoted me on the show to Bill Belichick? Because Phil Simms claimed I called Jay Cutler a game manager, which I don't even remember saying. He actually
unreal.
pitched it to Belichick in the pregame meeting, and Belichick said, "That's the dumbest thing I ever heard."
What is Phil
It's
Simms
similar. It's like
thinking?
the football equivalent of Jerry Seinfeld. Bill Belichick calling me an idiot.
Yes.
Well, speaking of ribbon, you guys had the Men in Blazers drop by, and Dan had to put one Danette in the line of fire.
Okay, here's another question. Paulie, who's married, has a huge crush on Rebecca Lowe.
Rebecca
And
Lowe.
Rebecca Lowe.
Rebecca Lowe.
Who is married as well.
Yeah.
Would Paulie have a shot with her? Now, Paulie's, if they're both single.
I'd say no.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd say no.
He doesn't get speechless very often, but Rebecca Lowe comes in and all of a sudden.
No.
I'm glad that that came up. How could you not have any type of soccer, especially these two guys with their comedic background, not to kind of put Paulie on the spot there by asking what would have happened before they both got married if Paulie had an opportunity to canoodle with Rebecca Lowe.
I thought you were going to say, I'm glad that they said no, because would you have been jealous if Rebecca Lowe would have been interested in
Not so much
Paulie?
jealous. I'd be, because I know Paul, I have a thing for many women. Paulie, specifically, we all know, likes. So
you really don't give her up.
No, but it wasn't so much the response to them saying no. It was just more of I was hoping that was going to be a topic of discussion.
Yeah.
I had brought it up to Dan before the show. He was looking at the research and everything, and hopefully I'm sure he thought of it anyway. But I'm like, somehow, some way, before this segment's over,
Nice producing.
And I put a little asterisk there with bonus question at the very bottom after the more maybe legitimate questions that he might be thinking of asking.
Coming along nicely.
You
Chris.
gotta ask. We gotta ask about.
That's straight out of the Paul Pabst playbook.
Yeah, this is
It's
bizarre
sinking in.
Dan Patrick show. This is awesome.
Trying to embarrass someone on national TV and ruin their home life, that's my territory.
You've been successfully doing that for years.
I was a little salty
might
about
be a little
that. After
karma,
watching that clip back, I mean, let's not kid each other. Michael and Raj, I'm like the wolf man how much hair I have compared to those two guys. I think they were taking a little shot at me. And I've seen Rebecca Lowe's husband. He's a soccer coach. I mean, it's like Division III.
Can you take him?
Take him to dinner?
Wait,
Oh, physically, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
wait, soccer, where is he coach?
if it came, he manages. He used to manage a team like in England, a good team, but like not Chelsea, but a proper team.
That's still a lot better than you. No
Yes,
offense.
but we don't look that much different. He is athletic, handsome, and well-spoken and rich, and I'm not. But those are the only differences
Outside of
between
that,
us.
you guys are
If you
twins.
looked at side by side, you couldn't tell those things.
Seton, what's the most trouble you've gotten in for something that happened on the show?
I don't know. I don't really think I've gotten in a lot of trouble on the show, actually. My wife is sort of like, she tends to understand that it's a show and that it's all for content. But she does occasionally get a little annoyed with like, you guys really have to like drool all over chicks all the time. She's just like, you guys are like grown men married with family. Like, it's not like you're 14, She's like, what? It's kind of pathetic.
What about
but
Judy
she doesn't get
O'Connor?
mad, though. Oh, Judy thinks everything is great. I couldn't possibly. I've never done a single thing wrong in my life in the eyes of Judy O'Connor, so I'm good. Yeah.
As long as we're good with Mom. All right, stick around. The Danettes turn out to be system blockers, and the system breaks. It's I don't know. It's I'm talking to I got Seton here on line 1 here. It's somewhere in the.
Yeah, how you doing there, Mike? Just calling in from here from Bayside, a long time, first time. Let's get you
thoughts quickly on the Mets bullpen here. I mean, the middle relief situation's certainly a mess. And what are the Devils doing? I don't understand that either. I'll take your thoughts off air.
Yeah, thanks for the call. I don't know. I think the Mets are still mired in this Bobby Bonilla thing, and Keith Hernandez is not
Mired. The Mo Vaughn signing still hampering the franchise.
Mired in this Bobby Bonilla thing. Oh, that's great.
John Franco, we could use him right about now. Trade for Phil Hughes. Phil Hughes, what Phil Hughes is going to work out? Hughes.
The box score presents great moments in DP show history.
Wait, hold on.
That's not really hitting someone. I want to do stuff like that. That makes me feel good.
Thanks for watching Great Moments in DP Show History.
Welcome back to the box score. McLovin, stupid question. Why do you guys insist on taking beatings from guys that are much bigger and stronger than you?
Frankly, it all starts with Paulie. We see Paulie doing it, and he's kind of fun. They're like, you know what, I'll get in there. I don't know why. If you kind of open that door, and for some reason, it's a mistake, and every time I'm like, why am I doing this?
I'll tell you, I'm trying to spread out the
pressure.
concussions. After that Matt Forte situation last year in New York, I got to curl back. Like McLovin did it with Rodney Harrison, and
well, that was not by choice, by the way.
Well, I don't want you having a choice. No one would choose to get hit by Rodney
That was
Harrison.
a blind side, yeah.
And then today, I don't even think I'm pretty sure I didn't mention it once to the guys. I said, hey, let's all take turns blocking him. Because if I ask you, do you want to get hit by David Deal, the answer naturally as a person would be no.
And Paulie said something interesting during the break. It's like you're not 100% sure when you approach these guys if they're going to take it seriously or they're going to joke around how hard they're going to go at you. So up until that moment, in the back of our minds, especially because Paulie gets it the most, it's like he does know this is just kind of a playful, fun little thing. He's not going to actually treat me anything like someone that's in some kind of game situation. I know he's on national TV and he wants to maybe
But
show
if
up a
David
little
Deal
bit.
goes 25% of what he can do, he could still
bad.
completely crush any or all of us.
Well, there's something funny about like two grown men, but one of them is just gigantic and the other one's like, I don't know, normal guy, and being treated like that junior high school kid on the basketball court, just thrown around. Like you've got no prayer of doing anything with these people.
Exactly, and like we're not small. We're all full size. We're actually above height and weight men. Fritzy's over 200. I'm almost 200. McLovin's about 200 pounds, 6'4". So we're not like wispy guys, but we're aging. And we were never in shape even when we weren't.
Probably the age has nothing to do with it.
Right.
Any period in my life,
You're right.
David Deal could throw me around like a rag doll.
Muscle tone, not really.
Yeah. Well, David Deal did stop by, and well, down go the Danettes.
Okay.
All right, said hut.
Oh my God.
There's one.
I got hooked a little bit, just dragged along.
Hut.
I'll even help you out. How about that? Sportsmanship.
That was cool.
I like another shot. I like another shot.
First of all, I don't know what bomb went off under Fritzy to have him explode like that, but that was great. And Andrew, thank you very much for the help on that.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
was-
I misread.
that was pretty awesome.
I thought we were pulling. I thought it was some sort of read option.
You went
situation.
tackle eligible on it.
Yeah, I was trying to get to the outside. I thought.
It's almost like you
I thought
completely
Justin-
avoided them altogether.
So I'm so sorry. We were sitting there. Me and you were sitting staring right at him, and I just didn't have it, Seton.
You just didn't like just get right in there and.
I was like, I do not want this man to, because I also had this fear. I mean, when some of the guys who've hit us in the past, Adrian Peterson, Michael Strahan, Clay Matthews, these are Hall of Fame level athletes. David Deal was a good offensive lineman. I don't know if he can tone it down to the exact right percentage to make it look good without serious injury. I just didn't know enough about him.
His gnarled, broken up fingers, okay, when we shook hands, were the size, like his fingers were the size of my entire hand. And so when we shook hands, it was sort of like his just wrapped all the way around. I'm like, good God, look at this man. I'm like half the size of him.
Like a first baseman's mitt. Paulie, you guys gearing up for some devastating NFL hits for Phoenix?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the guest list yet to see who would be the toughest guy to go against. I still want, J.J. Watt is the all-time for me. I would love to block J.J. Watt. And
Dude, NFL players can't block J.J. Watt.
Right, but he's never gone against a guy as slow and as small as me. I think I'll confuse him. He went to Wisconsin. He can't be much smarter than me. So I think Watt and I will have a good time if we can get him out there. If he'll take the challenge.
All right, well, let's hope that happens. Stay with us. We are talking late night TV. Easy, Fritzy. But first, here's Todd Fritz falling down 3 times. We are back here on the box score, guys, with Dan going on the Late Show with David Letterman. That got us all talking about here in the office, late night talk shows. So how about we play the game that all the kids in the shut-ins are talking about? Is it a late night talk show or not? We're gonna give you a talk show. You tell us if it really happened, and style points are added if you guess the year. It's gonna be Paulie and Fritzy and Seton and McLovin. So why don't you guys switch seats here and get close?
Wait a minute.
A trade has happened. There's been a trade.
There we are.
Now, I'm concerned, Brock, because I know late night TV. Fritzy knows a different kind of late night TV. I think
it
might
depends
be.
what the line of questioning is going to be.
First up, it is Team Paul Fritzy, Team Pitsy. The first late night show in question is the Terry Crews Show. Is that a real show or not?
Currently, or one in the process?
Good question. Good question.
That could be something that they might. I could see
Either.
them getting at some point, but I don't think that currently.
Oh,
Either
ever.
past or present.
Terry Crews Show.
He's a pretty entertaining guy. I'll say no.
I've never seen any kind of promo. If he has a talk show, it's not being publicized at all.
Boom.
Yeah, no, he hosts Millionaire, but he does not have a late night show, so it is fake. You are correct. Next up is McSeaton. The late show in question is McEnroe, hosted by tennis bad boy John McEnroe. Real or not?
He did have a show.
Yeah, I think he did have a show.
I think he did have a show. I don't think it really went anywhere, but we're going to say real.
It was real, and it was real bad. Actually earned a Nielsen rating of 0.0 twice. Back.
Oh, Daniel Simpson Day has no grade point average.
All, of course, is incomplete. Team Folly, the show is Hasselhoff, hosted by the one and only Hoff. Real or not?
It'd be real good if they did one.
Could potentially have one overseas. Isn't he popular in Germany and Denmark or something?
Yeah, he's huge in Hamburg.
I don't remember seeing him ever doing a talk show or anything about.
We'll say no.
You were close there. It is overseas. It is a real show. It currently airs on Sweden's TV3, and it began early 2014. Forging on with Team Pat Lovin. This one is the Magic Hour, hosted by Magic Johnson. What do you think, real or not?
Oh, sadly, it was real.
Sadly,
I
that
remember
is
that.
real. That was
real quick.
Famous burnout. That was a that was a missed shot, a clunker.
That was from the No Time era.
Yeah, real done and real done and real right. 1998. Lasted 8 weeks. Okay, Team Pitsy is up. This one was hosted by the world's least favorite nanny. It's the Fran Drescher Show. Real or not?
This is kind of your wheelhouse, Fritzy.
Fran Drescher's my wheelhouse? Did Fran Drescher have a show? That would be a very annoying, awful show.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
That was actually the name of it. That was the name pitch. The Annoying Awful Show.
Did any guests go in there and listen to that voice, asking her questions?
What's her? Was she hot enough to have that voice? What was it? How close was it?
No.
She's pretty.
She was okay, but she was in that bad TV show with the guy from Days of Our Lives, the nanny.
But she was great in Hollywood Nights with Robert Wool.
But none of that good enough to get your own talk. I know they're giving everybody their own talk show these days, but Fran Drescher.
We're saying no. Fritzy says no.
Well, they did give it to her. It aired in 2010 and for 16 episodes on Fox.
She doubled up Magic Johnson.
Yeah. And finally, Timo Perloff.
Am I ever going to win one of these?
This show, you're a curse here. The show is named Alf's Hit Talk Show and was co-hosted by the alien life form and Ed McMahon. Real or not?
Ha!
Oh, Willie!
Definitely real.
Absolutely real. One of the most famous TV experiments of all time.
Talk show.
I mean, it doesn't sound like a good idea, just like this segment doesn't
great.
sound like a good idea, but you know.
Puppet.
Oh, you're right on all
Asparagus,
parts. It
asparagus,
aired on
you
TV
put it
Land in
on your
2004
table.
for 7 episodes and was co-hosted by Ed McMahon. So congratulations. Seton and McLovin, you are our champions today.
Hey-o.
Don't go away. The box score says goodbye to an old friend. Welcome back to the box score. 17 weeks. The playoffs almost wrapped up. I can't believe it's almost over. I'm not talking about football. I could care less about that. The only thing I'm focused on is this.
BFSM DFS.
The Dan Football Night in America Challenge.
Sunday, we'll see both conference championship games being played, and though the boss isn't covering either one of these, points will still be up for grabs. We're going to give 2 points for a correct answer and -1 point for an incorrect answer. We're going to go with the NFC matchup first. Who will run for more yardage? Will it be Marshawn Lynch or Eddie Lacy? And a second point will be awarded if you guess which team advances. The second game, Indy and New England, who catches for more yards? T.Y. Hilton or Rob Gronkowski? Another point will be awarded if you guess which team advances. So to recap, it's Lynch versus Lacy, team that wins, T.Y. versus Gronk, and the winner. Fritzy, please lead us off.
Complex.
I'm going to go with Eddie Lacy with more rushing yards, and I'm going to go T.Y. Hilton will have more receiving yards than Gronk.
Who wins the games?
And
the
who
winners
wins
of the games will be, I'm going to go Packers and Patriots. I'm going to go with Mr. Dan Patrick. He seems to know these things. So Green Bay will get the upset on the road in Seattle, but the Patriots will hold serve in Foxborough.
Paulie, your thoughts?
I will go Seahawks to win, Marshawn Lynch to win the rushing war, and I will go T.Y. Hilton, because I love me some T.Y. Hilton from way back in the day, to win the yardage, but the Patriots will win the game.
Seaton.
I'm going to go Gronk and the Pates, and I'm going to say that the Packers win, but Marshawn Lynch runs for more yardage.
McLovin.
Wow. I like Lynch over Lacy, and I like T.Y. over Gronk, because if I'm the Colts, I triple team Gronk. But since there's no spread here, you'd be foolish in this challenge not to take the two favorites, because there are no
really?
points.
You're going to go Seattle?
I'm going chalk. Seahawks and Patriots.
Now, Broccoli, how about we spice this one up if we can, spice it up even more than it's already been?
It's already
How
so
about if
hot.
someone goes 4 for 4, they get an extra 4 points?
This sounds
Producer
like
loves
a
that.
last move of someone who needs to
Producer
pick up
loves
a lot.
that, so
Correct.
we will
your
go
final
with that.
score.
You go 4 for 4, that's an extra 4 points. I will. If you go 0 for, it's -4 points.
There you go.
I
Can
will
you
go
believe
with.
that hashtag BFFCFSMB
We'll
is
get
coming
with
to
that.
an end?
We'll get to
I mean,
that in a
this is really
second.
the
I will
last-
go with Lynch, Green Bay, Gronk, and the Pats. And as always, submit your guesses to the hottest hashtag burning up the Twitter sphere, hashtag BSFNC. And we will wrap all this up in Glendale, Arizona, and a winner will be crowned. Okay, Fritzy, who's on next week?
We're going to have special guest hosts at our Milford
Now,
Man
why are they
Cave.
special?
They're special guest hosts because they have agreed to come on and be a host of the show, and that makes them very special. And they were able to commit in advance of the show instead of showing up the morning of. So we appreciate that. Paul Burmeister of NBCSN Pro Football Talk, who co-hosts with Mike Florio.
Former Iowa State
Iowa
legend.
State.
Iowa State, wise guy. Iowa Hawkeye. He's going to co-host Monday's show with Jonathan
Cyclones.
Vilma of Saints fame. They're going to co-host the show. Reggie Miller and Tony Dungy will be among their guests Monday, and we're excited about that.
John Vilma, Florida Gator or Florida State Seminole?
Florida State.
I can't remember.
Right?
I'm going to stay away from that question.
Florida
We'll
A&M?
figure it
Did he
out.
go to Florida?
Florida International.
Florida International.
Reggie
Maybe
Miller and Tony Dungy.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching the box score. We will be back on Monday here at 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on Audience Channel 239. For extra content, that will be available on the podcast, available at iTunes or at podcast1.com. I got all that. Thanks.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!